So, namaste. Welcome to Satsang today. So, today, I wanted to focus on a particular subject that is probably about 95% or more of embodying our awakening, living as that truth. So, it's a major area because it's not only important that we see who we are, but also that we can apply what we have seen. We can live from what we've seen, that there is only one being, and that that one being is experiencing itself as an infinite number of seemingly separate lifetimes, body minds. And in each body mind vehicle, it's convinced that it is separate to everyone else, although it never really is. And I want to talk about relationships and unconditional love, and even deeper than unconditional love into non-dual love, where there is no object or um, no thing to love, no person to love. There's just love expressing itself. And mostly, our awakening is going to ask us to change the way that we're experiencing our relationships in our life. And it will already be asking you. And what I'm going to explain in a minute is applicable to you even if you have seen who you are fully. And even if you haven't yet seen, if you're brand new to non-duality or whatever this is that we're talking about, I don't really like labels so much. If you're new to the path, or if you've been on the path a while, it will still be of value. If you think about your life right now, there is probably at least one relationship that you have with another human being that isn't flowing well at all, or is just very disharmonious. And the reason for that is not like the mind says, which is that it's something going on in our outside world in the manifestation. Our mind sees a problem and blames the other person in the relationship for the problem. Or sometimes it will blame ourselves. If I could sort this out here, then this relationship would flow. Or if they would only change or stop doing that thing that they do, or start doing that thing that I want them to do or need them to do, usually by this point, then the relationship would be harmonious and smooth. But what if all our relationships are really a mirror to something much deeper going on within our awakening? If we can see that all of our relationships start off with, first of all, conditional love, which is simply conditional love. It's not bad or wrong, it's just limited in its expression. Who you really are, this formless, sentient awareness, this love, this presence, this divinity is love. And as awakening deepens, and we begin to see and realize that there's only one being, then both conditional love and the next stage, unconditional love, we will have to let go of and allow a transition of each relationship in our life to non-dual love, where there's no one to love. There's no thoughts about that person. There's only love. And that may seem like a tall order. How do I let go of everything I'm thinking about someone when there's so many things that need thinking about because there's so many things that aren't working? But what if it's not the thought process that is, what if the mind's thinking about problems? If you think about that relationship again that you have that's not flowing smoothly, it's no coincidence that that's probably the person that you spend the most time thinking about. And our mind says, when my relationship with this person is smooth and harmonious and how I would like it to be, then I'll stop thinking about them. But what if the very act of thinking about that person makes them seem separate to you and distorts your perception of reality? So much so that incredibly, most human beings on this planet have never interacted openly and completely freely, free of thoughts, with any other human being at all. Most human beings, just as I used to, um, are experiencing their thoughts about each other and might have never met the person that they're thinking about. You see their body standing in front of you, right? You see that person's body, but have we ever actually met that person without our memories of them, without our expectations, what we think we need from them, want from them, what we think we need to give them, how we think we should make them feel, what we think they think about us? On and on it goes. An awakening is going to ask you to drop all of that. And you can tell where you've got a lot of thoughts going on about someone. There'll be friction, at the very least, a little friction in the relationship. At the most, total dysfunction of that relationship. First, we come to that relationship from conditional love. I need something from you. I need you to make me feel safe or validated or approved of or attractive or wanted, needed, any of those things, right? If we look at some of the major relationships, if you have children, think about your children right now. What do you need from them? If they grew up and were healthy, well-functioning members of society, would that validate you somehow as a parent? If you think about your spouse, what do you need from them? Your siblings, your parents, your friends, even your buddies here in the Sangha. What is it you need from them? Conditional love is, I will love you if. And of course, none of us are saying that consciously, but we're subtly altering our behavior with that person because of what we think they can give us. And of course, nothing is wrong with this. It just doesn't really work, actually. Has anyone in your life ever completely made you feel the way you want to feel, unconditionally and forever? Even if we could somehow manage to pull that off, when the bodies go, so is that too. It's gone. The awakening is going to ask us to firstly switch to unconditional love. So to meet the person, so your children, your spouse, your siblings, your parents, your friends, family, all of it, without needing anything from them at all. Because if I need something from you, if I need you to like me or approve of me or make me feel safe, then I'm in separation with you. There's two beings in my mind, two beings, not just one. And so if I can recognize that if I need something from you, I must be living in separation still. And I haven't actually met you. You know, I had this crazy moment in my awakening. It was a very quiet, ordinary moment, but it changed everything. I was sitting in my house here, with a cup of tea, which is very normal for me, very English. And I was drinking my tea, and I had this epiphany that I wasn't doing any spiritual practice or anything. It just happened. I think I was watching the TV actually. This epiphany that I'd never met another human being. I'd seen with my eyes many bodies. Some lived in the house with me, right? But I'd only met my thoughts about them. And it became stunningly obvious in that moment that my whole life had been distorted by this sense of separation around these beings. And that if I wanted to go deeper in my awakening, I was going to have to let go of all of this. Everything I think about every person. And of course, my mind freaked out. Like I had no reference point then. If I don't meet you, and as I'm driving to meet you, I'm going through what we might talk about based on what interactions we've had in the past, with the aim of making you like me so that you want to see me again. All of this rehearsing and assessing afterwards by the mind is all an attempt to reorganize reality into what we need it to be. But it's always in separation, conditional love. What is it like to show up to meet someone and not need anything from them? To recognize unconditional love is a more expansive and more open form of love. It's not better than conditional love. Conditional love isn't bad or wrong, it's just more limited. And it's the only thing we're taught. I used to think that unconditional love was automatic as a parent, but when I really looked deep down, I still needed something. I need you to validate me as a parent to make me feel better. So, switching to unconditional love, what I need from you, I'm going to allow from the inside out. I'm going to open this tap inside that is the wellspring of everything that I could ever need from anyone. And then it takes the pressure off of you. You don't have to give me anything. I'm already coming from a place of fulfillment and peace at that point. There's nothing you could give me that I really need. It's all here inside. Doesn't mean you can't give me approval, but I won't be hungry for it. I won't need you to be in a particular shape, to behave a particular way so that I feel how I want to feel. I'll already be feeling that way. Just by recognizing I can't get something from another being when they're not separate to me, when they are me. It's kind of insane or ludicrous to keep trying to get things from beings that aren't separate to me. So the first thing is that you find that life awakening is asking you to upgrade your relationships. And there's probably many relationships knocking on the door for upgrade right now, right? We can look at this as an upgrade from conditional love to unconditional love, where every time I think I need something from you, I will look inside first and see if it's not already here, with a deep curiosity. And of course, that doesn't mean that I'm going to let you do anything and treat me badly and all that other stuff. In fact, it'll be impossible for you to treat me badly if I love you unconditionally. If I need you to validate me and approve of me, then I have to keep needing. I can never actually receive. And then you and me are stuck in this cycle where I'm trying to get you to give me something that you don't have. You want validation for your own self. How can you give it to me when you're probably trying to get it from me as well? Can we step outside of this then into unconditional love? Is it true validation isn't already here? Before I go chasing off, trying to find something, let me see if it's not here in my heart, in the heart of being, the real being, the source of all fulfillment, where I'll find so much validation and approval that it will just be spilling out over the sides constantly. And anyone that needs any can just kind of come and soak it up. More, an infinite supply that can never, ever, ever run out. And there's only one way to turn this tap, and that's ever more on, ever more full flow. Total freedom to not need anyone for anything. And the mind says that sounds very lonely, but is it? Have you ever just sat with someone and didn't need anything from them at all? You can do it right now in this satsang. If you don't need anything from me and from this satsang, everything is a relationship, right? Here we're talking about human beings, but you're actually in a relationship with satsang, aren't you? What you think you need from this satsang, from the next book you're going to read, from the next teacher you listen to, on and on it goes. The next retreat you go to, but you should still come to our retreat. Just joking. Everything, time and money and energy, all of it. So we're switching over to unconditional love and then to non-dual love, where you recognize that there is only one being playing as two bodies in the relationship. And that expression of relationship is really a vehicle that the infinite formless love is using to allow some very limited forms of the expression of love to become ever more abundant. Finally, we can reach a place where we don't think about each other at all. It's backwards, right, to how we normally approach our relationships. If you're somebody important to me, I should think about you a lot, says the mind. And it actually becomes total opposite. Love drives us deep enough to be willing to not think about that person at all. I don't want to distort my reality when I'm spending time with you. Why would I want to distort my perception of you by thinking about you? The moment I think about you, I'm in some kind of distortion of reality and I'm living in my head rather than actually experiencing who you are. And that is enough. Thinking about someone is enough to distort 99.99% of actual reality. You won't be able to perceive it. You won't be able to feel it. You won't be able to sense and feel the immediacy and the intimacy of just being here together. So nobody needs anything from anyone. What would that world be like? Well, it'd be where everyone gives freely, shares resources, where there's no sense of separation left at all. Why would we want a barrier from each other? We don't need those barriers anymore as a separate being, if the separate being was never true. Mind says, I'll let go of my defenses when I know it's safe, when I know nobody's going to hurt me. But it's always the other way around. Only when I know I'm deeply safe as the infinite being, the only being that's here, can I let down my defenses. What if you've simply been experiencing what you think about everyone? And those thoughts are usually so deep rooted. All we experience in our life as this imagined separate being is the reruns, the same old tired experiences with the same beings over and over and over again. Can we love the truth enough to admit that we might have never met anyone actually, most of all ourselves? It feels uncomfortable at first to admit that everything I think I've experienced with another being was only in my head. The negative stuff, at least. The positive stuff, the joy and the spontaneity and the love is real. And that all relationships continue without this sense of separation, where I'm not pitting all my hopes and dreams on you, saying you have to fulfill it. That's a heavy burden. Or even one of my hopes. What is it like to just show up? Is it true that you need anything from anyone? And what would your life be like if you knew that everything that you're searching for through relationships is going to come from the inside of you? And that you only haven't experienced it yet, that approval of yourself, that validation, that love, because we somehow thought it wasn't here. Then we keep experiencing it's not here. And then we try to get it, we need it from someone else. And then we have to keep needing because anything we state to be true with our energy is experienced as absolute universal law. I need validation or approval. I have to keep looking for it. Safety, control, whatever it is we're looking for, can never fulfill itself that way. And what we see going on this planet is a mirror image of all the things we think we need. An outward expression of the inner sense of poverty, of lack of the things that mean most to us. And that's what awakening is going to ask you, is already asking you, right? If you just put this, if we put this into a very practical thing right now, we can do this exercise together. Think about one person in your life where the relationship that you have, it could be someone that you don't see very often, a sibling, or your boss, or the assistant manager, or someone in the supermarket that you just really, there's just some friction there, or your wife or your child. Just one person. Think about that one person. And then ask yourself if the relationship with that person was completely harmonious and beautiful, how would you feel? Right now, if you're frustrated, irritated, angry, ashamed, whatever it is, how would you feel if there's suddenly the relationship, you woke up tomorrow morning and the relationship was just perfect? And that shows you what you're looking for from that person. It's an unconscious shopping list that we all have. Can you imagine if you walked into the supermarket or the office with a t-shirt on that says, today I need to be approved of and validated, and I need someone to make me feel safe. We would never do that, of course, but we're asking in our energy because we think it's not here inside already. Stepping into marriage, the supermarket, the office, into parenthood, already full, already complete, with more than enough, more than you could ever need for 100 million lifetimes. Approval, self-respect, self-love. Being more willing to see if it's not here now. Is that true? Because the moment I start to seek something from you, I'm separate to you in my thoughts and I can never get it. Momentary little snippets for a moment, and then it has to go. Why? Because my dominating energy is I need. I need. When I was small, I used to hear this saying from a lot of adults around me, and it used to really frustrate me. And my parents and people around me would say, I want never gets. Right? I don't know if it's an English thing or if it's a universal thing. I want never gets. And it used to make me explode with anger because I knew somewhere inside something was not right there. And I realized later, what I want as a separate being, I can never get. Why? Because it's already here. And then my relationships can be a mirror of that. I have more than enough. You have more than enough. Because you're not constantly trying to change yourself to make me feel better. And I'm not constantly trying to change myself to make you feel better. We can just be with each other and enjoy the richness and the suchness and the intimacy of just meeting. To the point where I might never think about you again. And yet there's closer than intimacy, oneness, just love. Beyond even unconditional love for another being is non-dual love, where there's only love, expressing itself as all these apparent relationships in human beings and forms and all of that. How to put all this into action? Simply like we said, start with the conditional love, don't blame it. It's the only model we've been given. Our parents and those that raised us didn't even know, really, just like we didn't, what unconditional love was. They were coming from a sense of separation, just like we were. What is it I think I need from this being? And is it true it's not already here? How would I feel now if this relationship was already perfect? I would feel free. I would feel peaceful. I would feel whatever it is, validated, loved, safe. That will show you what you think isn't here already in your own heart. And of course, I'm not talking about a physical organ. I'm talking about your real nature, who you actually are, the one formless totality of existence, appearing as this universe. First, we must correct the relationship with ourselves. Let me not go about my life believing that I'm lacking, whether it's safety, approval, whatever it is. Let me stop before I go chasing off, seeking. Let me see, what is it that's already here? Any other being in the relationship, even if they're not on a path to awakening, they can sense the freedom in that you're not energetically asking anything from them at all. You just want to be with them. That's freedom right there. And both of you can disengage from this ever reducing cycle of what I want to need from you and all of it. This is, like I said before, 99.99% of embodying awakening. All of manifestation is about relationships, right? Relationship with time, relationship with money, energy, health, your relationship with your friends, even a relationship you might have with awakening. What do you need from awakening? What does it need to give you? What if it's already here? Our mind said, well, if I don't need anything from awakening, I'm not even going to reach it or pursue it. It would be pointless to even come to satsang. But simply not needing anything from anything, that is awakening. Unconditional love for yourself, first of all, right? What if you didn't need yourself to change at all before you love yourself? I'm doing the best that I can. There's things I'd like to change about myself, but I'm not going to withhold approval from myself just because there's some things I would still like to see change. Only then can those things change in the richness of unconditional love. And it starts with a willingness to admit that you might have never met yourself or anyone else. You don't have to take that all in at once. It's shocking. It was for me. And it came in pieces in my life, in different relationships. Then finally, as a recognition, as I was speaking about earlier, I haven't met anyone. Least of all, myself. Never actually experienced what I'm like, moving about my day normally. Only what I think I'm like, and that's very different. Usually judgmental and critical and harsh. So the sooner we embrace this, the better, because this will be the reason for any and all dysfunction in all of our relationships. Finally breaking free of, I'll stop needing something from you when you actually give it to me. I was stuck in that for years. Expecting all these things from beings who didn't exist outside of me as separate beings, at least. So I hope that has given you some kind of desire or passion to simply see what's going wrong in your life as an opportunity for an upgrade into a more expansive kind of love. If you apply this to just one person in your life, your whole life will change bit by bit. You want to apply it everywhere then. When you see the magic that happens, when you apply it to yourself, first of all your other relationships will change spontaneously. Okay, so if anyone wants to talk about awakening and relationships or any subject at all to do with awakening, at least, I invite you, if you'd like to ask a question, just to raise your hand here on Zoom and we'll see where we get to. We'll go with Miguel.
Hello, Helen.
Hello.
Hello. Actually, I wrote something because I was not sure that I would be able to um, remember. Um, yeah, I was listening today to the Satsang of You Are a Mystery, and I would like to check with you if my perception is right. So when I bring attention to the emptiness, even if I see my hand, it seems like the emptiness is a different dimension than my hand.
Seems like, yeah.
Also, the emptiness around my hand seems to be different from the emptiness that I perceive inside. Like what I see is like, I don't know if it seems like the emptiness around my hand belongs to the which actually is the distance between one object and another, that belongs to the world of the forms and is different than the emptiness that I perceive when I look inside.
So how does it seem to be different? Let's explore that. It seems like the empty space between my hands is very different to the formless emptiness that I find when I try to
Well,
see who I am.
what what I see is like the perception is like if it is a different dimension. Like um, I see the hand and emptiness around it, but the emptiness that around it, I perceive it with my sense, and I feel it's empty because I do not have maybe another sense that could perceive emptiness. But maybe if there is a device that can perceive it, it will not be empty. It will be like full of particles and something different and waves or something. So it seems like it's not the same emptiness. It's like it seems like this belongs to the world of phenomena
Hmm.
when the emptiness that is inside is just empty.
How big is inside?
Well, it's like seems like big and small doesn't apply. It's like
That emptiness, when we look at who you really are, when you look for what you really are, you find what do you find?
yeah, emptiness.
And where is that emptiness? Where does it start and where does it stop?
Yeah, it's everywhere, but it seems like there is the dimension, like the parameter of distance is not there. It doesn't apply there. Like
Hmm.
it's just no, there is nothing inside. So what I was coming is like, can be that this distance between two objects belong to the world of forms and is different from the emptiness that I perceive.
If emptiness is everywhere, is there any world of forms? If it's literally everywhere, can emptiness be absent from anywhere? The emptiness that you are?
No, that's the thing. But then it's like this apparent, like yesterday I was looking with the Apple Vision Pro glasses, and I was looking at a virtual reality movie, and it seemed so real, but it was a different dimension that was not part of my dimension.
Are you sure? Wasn't it inside the emptiness that you are still?
Actually, it was inside my mind.
Mm.
The only way is like the only thing that was there was mind, perception. I mean, it's so difficult.
So if the emptiness that you are is present everywhere, even if there were any such dimensions like manifestation and things like that, would it not still be inside this emptiness that you are?
Yeah, unless if it is an illusion, same like this virtual reality is an illusion, it's not really happening. It's just
That's
a,
that's where I was gonna go next with this. Can you prove that the emptiness that you are stops and a hand appears? Can you say
no,
where emptiness stops and another dimension or something would start?
no, unless the hand doesn't really exist. What is just a thought, which is unsubstantial and doesn't take space in emptiness.
Yeah, because if something took up space in emptiness, there would be a place where emptiness was not, right? And we
Yes.
can prove right now in our experience, you and me and anyone else everyone else. When I look at the emptiness that I am, I can't find a way that it would stop, where I
Yes,
could cut out of emptiness, remove a hand shape, and put a hand in there. It just couldn't be like that, could it?
yes,
So this really isn't a hand then.
no.
And these two hands, there seems to be empty space between them. Is it really empty space even? What if it is one continuous ocean of emptiness, and in some places it's visible and perceptible to the human senses. Other places it's not. It's classed as invisible, intangible, which simply means outside of the vibrational range of the human five senses. Just one continuous, unending ocean of emptiness. Some places it's also vibrating, some places not. Some places vibrating, some places not.
But if some place is vibrating, then there is a movement, and emptiness supposed to be full stillness, no?
Is that vibration and that movement different than emptiness and stillness? Or can emptiness appear as movement and stillness, vibration? Can emptiness appear as form, but not actually be it?
Yes, that that I totally see. What I don't see is that how the mind, because at the end, it seems like everything is a thought.
Yeah.
Even a vibration doesn't really exist. It's just a thought in my mind,
Where does the world exist? Outside or inside your mind?
inside,
Is the world a physical object or a bunch of thoughts then?
a bunch of thoughts,
So, what is it you're perceiving right now with all of your senses?
a bunch of thoughts.
What is actually out there then?
Nothing,
No thing.
nothing.
Just the no thingness, the emptiness looking like things, but not actually so.
Yeah, that I see. I see.
It can even look like a very subtle thing, like space,
Yes.
the distance between two objects. Parent objects seems to be empty space. It can even look like empty space, can't it? But if those objects are not really objects, if they're really emptiness in disguise, it all kind of collapses. Not actually, but in our mind it collapses. The world will still seem to be here, even for the awakened being. It's just much more fun.
Mhm. But how about what I don't see fully is that mind and emptiness are one and the same. Because at the end, I see there is only mind and emptiness, but that is two,
Where did mind come from? What is it made of?
nothing. It's thoughts, but thoughts are unsubstantial, but still they are forms.
Are they?
I read that somewhere.
If you think a thought now, just think any thought you like. You don't have to tell us what it is.
Yes.
Can you find where emptiness stops and the thought starts?
No.
Is it a thought then, really? Where is your mind? When you really look for it, where is it?
Nowhere. That's why it feels like if it's a different dimension. Like this is reality, this is me, this is emptiness, and there is something. that is an illusion, that is not, it doesn't really exist, but doesn't belong here. I don't know.
If illusion doesn't exist, there's only emptiness, there's only truth.
Then what
Illusion,
is the apparent? The appearance is what then? This appearance.
it's only actually an appearance. It's a seems to be. And it seems to be very real because we feel that this body is a body and that our senses are actually touching other objects. Our senses give us feedback that something is a solid or a liquid. Therefore, we really believe in this apparent world of forms like it's a total reality that exists independently of everything else. But if for a moment you imagine the time when your body is no longer here, do you have any evidence of any forms at all without your senses and your mind?
No.
Even in sleep at nighttime, the body's asleep and the mind is active in the dream state, imagining objects, right? But they're not real objects. We know that in the dream. We wake up, we go, that wasn't real. But in this waking state dream, we really think that all these objects are actually separate to the emptiness. And we have two favorite objects, bodies and thoughts. Those are our favorite imagined objects, right? We really believe in the reality of those.
Then can something appear and disappear in the emptiness? Really cannot.
Was the wave on the ocean surface ever really there as a wave, or was it just ocean? Or ocean, wave, those two words mean the same thing, right? Form, formless, emptiness, somethingness, they become synonyms.
I didn't grasp that completely. That's
But
where
something shifted there, I saw it. This is fun, right? Are you having fun?
yes.
Or are you frustrated or
No,
both?
no, no, I'm having fun because I see at the end I can see that the world doesn't exist and it's all a thought. But I don't find the way yet to then I have a thought and I have emptiness. And yeah, em emptiness is everywhere, but I have not really found a way to bring down thought to emptiness. That,
Like we just did, right? You said you couldn't prove that emptiness stopped and a thought began. You couldn't find that dividing line where it's no longer emptiness and it's now a thought.
but then what is a thought?
I don't know.
Does it exist?
No.
Because I see the body, all the outside world, I can bring it down to a thought, which is a perception and it's just a thought. But if the thought doesn't exist neither,
Then there's only emptiness. You can just catch yourself, right? When you think, oh, why is my mind thinking again? Well, wait a minute, let me see where the emptiness stops and the thoughts begin. When you really look, when you really try to find where is this thought? Whereabouts is it? Can I pinpoint it and can I find where emptiness disappears and the thought begins? And it all just collapsed for me when I really investigated like this.
mhm.
There's no edge to emptiness, no place where it turns into a thought. The thought, then, is seen to be everywhere. A thought is not an object either. It's formless emptiness that's omnipresent. If a thought is not really an object, if it's not a thing, if it's really made of formless everywhereness, emptiness, where is the thought?
I don't know.
When you try to find it, you'll find it's everywhere.
Um,
Just play around like this for just a few days and see what happens, right?
hmm,
If you have a plant or a table in your room, just ask yourself, where is that table? Or where is that plant? Our senses seem to say that it's in one place only. It's sitting there across the other side of my room. But if you ask really, where is this plant? Where is this table? Where is this thought? You'll find that it's actually everywhere. Nothing has any location because there are no things.
mhm.
When I started to think like this and investigate like this, there was something that got very scared, but also something that got very excited. Like I was right on the edge of a real fundamental shift of how I see reality. And you're right on this edge, right? Something
Yeah,
can't let it go. It keeps, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. And you follow that, follow that. It's very important.
yeah, yeah, but
Excellent.
thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, love. Now that's how to follow instructions. Yeah. Caro,
Hello, Helen.
I love.
Thank you very much to bring us this topic. I think is one of the most important things that we have in our daily life. And I would like to share something about the relationship with my mom. I don't have a good relationship with my mom. And uh, after my brother's accident, I start to see with a different eyes, and I think the things can change. But one day when I was in the hospital, I feel something like very, very hard, like I can't be in this place anymore with you and my brother. I need to escape. Now I need to leave this room. It's like I can't resist. It was too much for me. And after that, when I talk with my mom, it's something like something can match. And I drink with, I felt bad because I really don't want to feel that. And I drink with you, and you told me you can see your mom with a different eyes.
Mhm.
And I answer very confident, now I can't anymore. It's like I feel so tired, and when if I have something to see with a different eyes, it's bored. I can't, I can't. And she called me some days ago and again say, it's like impossible. I can have a relationship with you. How can I see you with a different eyes when you talk with me and I say, no way. I start very empty
How
and
can
she
you
said that
know? How can you know if you can have a relationship with her until you have let go of all the stories you have about her? Can you honestly say, and I know that you want me to be direct, I know you have asked for that, so do you even know who she really is? Can you say that you've met her fully without any story at all? And if not, how can we say that we want a relationship with this person or that we don't want a relationship with them, if we haven't actually met who they are, only we've met who we think they are, we keep playing out our same stories between the two bodies again and again. What if she's never met you? You've never met her.
When I met her, I start like empty, like this. When she opened her mouth,
You picked
it's
up a
like
story again, right?
I no, she opened her mouth, say, "Oof, okay, do it." But it's like starting again, like new story. Yes, like in the past.
What if then life is going to ask you to constantly meet her without stories? And I'm not saying, maybe you apply what I'm saying here and you realize actually that you don't want a relationship with her. But you will know rather than trying to figure it out in your head. Some beings in my life, when I dropped all of what I think about them, came much closer. Some went away. And some couldn't deal with that kind of immensity of love. So there was some fear for them and off they went. A lot of people did come into my life, but I knew it was the right thing. I wasn't just experiencing my stories anymore. I was actually experiencing the way life wanted to flow. Most of my relationships completely corrected themselves just by doing what we're saying here today into a richness and a fullness of love. But even if that love is going to express itself as those two bodies moving apart, it still feels complete, right? It doesn't hurt because the hurt is coming from what we think that we need from that being and we feel we aren't getting. So, can you find somewhere inside a willingness to keep showing up from total innocence? I don't know anything about this person. Our mother, father, siblings, children, our husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, all of it, are the ones where our mind says, do we really need to hold on to our stories? Really, really.
Okay. To be honest, when I am with her, I am starting, okay, listening. I feel some tension, like don't want to remind the story, but I feel that I really love her and she loved me,
Yeah.
but we can be together.
You don't know that yet. You can't really make that conclusion yet.
In this moment, anytime when I saw her with another eyes was okay. It's like
So keep doing that. Keep seeing her with open eyes, open mind, open heart, and see what happens. She will have to begin to do the same with you then also. It takes a constant willingness that we have to bring again and again and again. So I meet this person with no stories, and then they say or do something, and I feel this contraction happening in my body. But I can let that contraction remind me, wait a minute, I've picked up a story, let me drop it and meet them. And then let me drop it again next time it happens and meet them. And on until it's a habit, until you can't think about her.
what I feel is when somebody hurt you very big, I feel that I can't open my heart anymore. It's like answer. I
Have you
can't.
ever, have you ever, and I'm saying this with total love because I know you want the end of this, right? Have you ever experienced a moment with your mother where you've not had any stories, both of you, no stories? And are you willing to look at everything that's happened in the past from the understanding that you were both playing out your stories? And who are you without your stories about each other, the two of you, right? That's something that we can all bring for. It doesn't mean we allow that person to treat us badly, right? It doesn't mean we're undefended. It just means that we can make an appropriate, spontaneous response all the time because we're not disempowering ourselves by believing our stories. She's never experienced you without her thoughts about you. You've never experienced her without your thoughts about her. You've never had a real interaction, actually. Shocking as that is. It has to. Somewhere inside, after the shock, it brings a willingness to say, well, I don't know that anything we've ever experienced together is what I thought it was, good or bad. Well, I need something from, if I need something from my mother, she can only act according to that. That's a command that I'm sending out to the universe. So, what I'm asking is for you to, and you don't even have to do it when you're with her. You can do it right now, sitting in your home by yourself, to start to realize that maybe you've never met her. Even everyone in our lives, even our spiritual teacher, we've still never met them because we want something from them, right? Our children, our teachers, everything. And it's normal, of course. But life is asking you now to meet her as she really is, as who she really is. You can do it. I know you can.
Okay.
That's your mission now, right? And see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Lots of love. Okay, what time are we on? Okay, we've probably got time for one or two more. We'll go to Mitra.
Hi, Helen.
I love.
Um, I have a question about basically self-inquiry. When I ask myself, am I aware? There is, as you suggest, there is a stopping and a checking.
Mhm.
And when I do that, I stop and I check. There is this sense of existence, this sense of awareness, like
Mhm.
being aware. But then just today, I thought maybe I should actually, like, I got interested to know who is the one that stop and check.
Mm. That's a really good question, a really juicy question.
So, and I wonder which one, I mean,
Can you find that?
basically,
Can you find that one that stops and checks? When we ask this question, am I aware? There is something that begins to look for awareness.
yes,
What is it that looks for awareness?
it's I.
What is I?
But it's empty and aware and quiet and still.
So when we ask this question, am I aware? Awareness that you are stops looking at objects temporarily and looks for itself. Temporarily, awareness stops looking at thoughts and objects and experiences and begins to recognize itself. Awareness recognizing itself to be present. I am aware. I am awareness. And then it seems to forget that because then in 2 minutes later, it'll go back to looking at thoughts or something, an emotion or a person or something. But if we ask this question, am I aware? It's not just proving to itself, awareness isn't proving to itself that awareness is present. That's the first thing, right? Am I aware? There's a looking. Yes, awareness is here. But if we take the fullness of that question, am I aware? How does that hit you inside? Am I aware? Is this I sentient and aware?
Yes,
And formless, yeah?
yes.
So that question very
And
quickly morphs into, am I awareness?
that, sorry, what was your question? The question that, am I awareness or
If I ask you, are you aware? What happens?
I say yes, because I go and I check. There's this stopping and checking, and then I can just say that I'm present. That's all I can say.
You're present and you also are seeing, aren't you? You have the faculty of seeing. You are the faculty of seeing.
Yes,
You can see that you are present.
yes,
There's awareness of awareness.
yes. But when I think, when I sense awareness, when I go to that sense of awareness, it's like there is this expansion that I feel. And when I go to that sense of who is the one, that sense of I, there is this I in the core of me.
In the
And I
core of
can't say,
who? In the core of who?
yeah, core of the body, I guess, isn't it? It's imagination, right?
Also perceived by awareness yourself. This I
Yeah.
is in the core of the body, for example. Can you actually find it? Or is it just a sense?
It is a sense, and I can't say it's separate from any sound that I hear from outside, or I can't say it is separate with anything, but it's maybe in the core means like it's very intimate. It's very intimate,
What is it
you
made
know.
of, this I?
I mean, I guess consciousness, like awareness,
Like
it's,
awareness or actual awareness?
well, actual awareness, but sometimes, I don't know, something in my mind says if it's only awareness, is that all awareness? Like, is that all it is? Just awareness?
You tell me. Let's answer this question from your mind. Is there anything other, this I, is it anything other than awareness?
I can't find anything else that it is apart from being totally silent and still and aware and empty.
You said, I can't find anything else. I can't find anything else or other than awareness.
Yeah.
That should be the holy grail, right? Every time I look, I cannot find anything else than awareness. Whenever this sense of
Yeah.
I pops up, it's also seen to be just awareness. So even this I that stops and checks and looks for awareness is none different than awareness. It keeps finding itself over and over again. Only itself, only awareness, no other thing.
So what about the sense of I then?
It's synonymous with awareness. It doesn't matter whether awareness calls itself consciousness, presence, I, me, Mitra, Helen. It's all still the same formless awareness.
But then when they say, and that's the issue I have with I am, because I say I can relate to that I, but I'm just saying, am I just, I can't just understand that I am that that I am, you know, I am only I amness.
Does
I feel like I can't just be this.
why not? Why
I'm an
can't
I. Where is the I? You know,
when you say I am, who's saying it?
I.
And who is I?
Me.
What is I?
Maybe it's that pure subjectivity.
Also known as awareness. If I say I am, what I'm also really saying is awareness is. I am, awareness is. Same, same.
Okay. So in that case, probably I am having this illusion of I'm just making something out of that sense of I. It's the illusion basically, isn't it?
We do it for a long time until it's boring.
Okay. So it doesn't exist. I thought, okay. I was really getting interested in it. Like it was feeling like a mystery to me. It
Well,
felt
that's
me, but I didn't know what it is.
hmm. They're all synonyms, right? If we took every name on this satsang here, and every name of every human being, and every name of every object, from the tiniest particle to the largest structure on Earth or in the universe, they're all synonyms for awareness, presence, consciousness, divinity, whatever we're calling it, emptiness, also known as I. It's just all the same one substanceless substance, isn't it? With an infinite number of names and no name, really.
So, so this very recent curiosity about that I that is like a mystery You think it's pointless that I...
Oh no, follow that thread. You'll find what the I is. We've done it today, right? We've looked at what
Yeah,
when the I really realizes what it means when it says I am, it's over. I am is perhaps the only true statement you can make. I, awareness, exist. That's all you can say, really. I mean, we can talk in relative terms, of course.
for me, it's I get curious when I look at it, like noticing the noticer, you know, like that kind of thing.
Follow that. It's
What is that?
like we were talking with Miguel. It's important to follow that. If something's really interested in this, go with it. It's a huge, huge thing, a big seeing, a big breakthrough waiting right behind it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, we'll finish with Debbie. I know we spoke to Nate last week. Sorry, Nate, but we're just about out of time. I'd like to say hi to Debbie. When you're ready, Debbie, thanks. Hi.
Hi, Helen. Yeah, I think there's when you just said about that kind of breakthrough thing, I know this is a question that has no substance, but I just wonder if something you say would make a difference, because I would say sensation and sound are very non-dual and have been for so long I can't even remember if they ever weren't. But the
What do you
visual,
mean by non-dual here in this context?
no distance,
Not
no
separate? You
sense.
mean they're not
Yeah.
actual? Right.
Yeah, no sense of separate or distant or somebody experiencing them.
Okay.
And with the visual experience, the thing that comes up is, and your way of kind of describing looking at space around things was a new thing for me to play around with. But the mind always wants to say, well, I know it's over there because I have to walk over there. I have the experience over and over and over again of physical, actual distance. And I feel like that always wants to sneak up and distract me from any further exploration. I just wondered if you had any way of looking at that could...
Shall we smash some illusions?
Yeah, smash them.
It seems like you would have to get up and walk across the room to an object at the other side of the room, which gives the sense of distance and two objects, you that's walking and whatever you're going towards, right? But that assumes that you are only in one place. You are there where the body is, and you will move to somewhere else. Can you prove that you're only where the body is?
Can I prove?
Can you prove? Because you have to be in a location to move to another location, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a location? Your body does. But what about you? Take your time with this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be sure that you are moving at all? Your body is moving, but can you be sure you are moving? If you had to claim this, that I'm moving, you had to be 100% certain. Can you be 100% certain of it?
There's just because I'm trying to, there's the thought that want to say, yeah, my experience is like that. But if I'm trying to just ignore that, there's
But
nothing.
that thought is talking about the body, not you. The
Yeah.
body is moving. That much we're agreed upon.
Mm.
But what about you?
I feel like the experience of whatever I am feels still this, that it's located in the body. That's kind of my experience.
Let's look at that then. Let's look for what you really are. What are you?
Here-ness, now-ness.
And is that a form or formless? This here-ness, let's just call it for now. Form or formless?
I know it's formless.
So does any form moving affect you? Where is this formlessness that you are? How big is it?
I feel that experientially it does feel as if it's anchored here.
That which sees,
Mm-hmm.
that which feels anchored. How big is that which sees? Something feels limited inside the body.
It does.
That's okay, but what is it that's aware of even this that feels limited in the body? What is that sees even this limitation? That knows?
And that the loudest thing when you say that is kind of a sensation in the chest, in the middle.
And what sees that sensation? How do you know it's there?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that knows the sensation? Taking attention away from the sensation for a moment and onto what sees it, what perceives it. What is that?
That feels bigger, more spacious.
Bigger or actually size less, shape less, form less?
I'm trying to keep my eyes open because it's always easy to do with my eyes shut.
Don't worry, we just want interested in proving. You don't need to keep your eyes open if you don't want to.
Well, those experiences are very easy without the visual field, but the visual field brings that containment feeling
But
again.
prove something without the visual field that will then smash through the idea that there is a visual field, okay?
Yeah.
So that formless thing, whatever it is, let me start that sentence again. Find some different teeth. Okay. That formlessness that recognizes the sensation in the chest or whatever it's looking at. You said it's bigger. How big is it? Does it have any edge at all?
In all honesty, I don't sense how big it is.
Could it have a shape, a limit, if it's not a form?
There's no sense of a shape, no.
It's shapeless, yeah. So that is you, right? You're the one perceiving that sensation, you, this shapeless whatever.
Yeah.
So are you in the body or is the body in you?
Logic tells me that
Okay,
I'm.
no logic. We discard logic now. Can you, this very, very shapeless big thing, be limited to a body inside the body only? Or is in fact the body appearing inside you?
yeah, the image just repeats and repeats of that visual image in their mind of the body. And
So taking attention away from what you see.
I keep trying to do it. It just keeps coming back.
What is it that's seeing? I'm more interested in the seeing.
The seeing of the image.
Yeah. What is it that's seeing the image? Is it limited in any way at all? Every time the image appears in the mind, it's seen by something, it's recognized by something. It's not getting in the way of this image. We can even use it to help us see that we are seeing it. There's something watching it, right? Something constant that sees every time an image or a thought pops up. It's even seeing that it cannot currently see through your eyes because your eyes are closed. It sees the absence of visual field right now.
Yeah.
Is it any different then when you open your eyes and it's looking through the eyes? That which is looking, is it any different with eyes open or closed?
No.
My eyes closed, I can see that I can't see, right?
Mm-hmm.
My eyes open, I can see that I can see. But I'm still the seeing, you're still the seeing, either way. Let me ask you then, are you moving? Can you get up and walk as the seeing?
No.
The room is inside you, isn't it? Not the other way around.
I still want to say I don't know to that.
That's okay. It's a whole lot better than where we started, which is you were sure that you were moving. You were sure that you were walking across the room. That's where we all kind of start off.
Yeah.
It's a good question to sit with, right? Is the room inside me or am I inside the room? Just kind of play with that for a few days. See what happens.
Yeah, I will.
Does it feel exciting?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I know what's going to happen. I mean, I'd love to hear it anyway, but I always like hearing good news.
Yeah.
First, it will seem like you're in the room. Later in our awakening, it will seem like the room is inside you.
Mm.
Later still, you won't be able to find you in the room. It just will seem ludicrous. So stay with this, like a dog with a bone, right? Do not let it drop. Follow it all the way to the end of this trail of breadcrumbs.
Mm.
Have fun with it, though.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll leave it there for today. I'm sorry we didn't get time for everyone that wanted to ask a question, but I think you'll agree that what people have asked here today has been just top shelf stuff, as we would say, top class, and some deep investigations and insights, and very, very powerful questions. So thank you for being here with me today. And yeah, namaste.